Hey, what's up, family? So we got a nice good one for you today. Me and my daughter here. We're gonna do this one here. We're gonna title it what? Division between woman and man, or division between man and woman. And like,
Right.
although that title sticks out there, that's what I would ask any and everyone out there, viewing audience. Why do you think there's so much division between man and woman?
You guys have to leave a comment right now before we say anything on what's your opinion. You know, we're about to dive in.
Yes. So why? Think about it. Why do you think there's so much division between man and woman? Well, if, like I throw that out to you right off the top. Why do you think there's so much division?
I believe there's so much division because there's love lost.
Yeah.
I believe people don't love each other the same way, and
Uh-huh.
which leads into togetherness and unity. I feel like that's not important to people.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Although there's many reasons why there's division between men and women, I'm gonna just jump on one right here. If you don't remember that old saying, when we know better, we do better, right? It's just like if you had a good example, then you know example to lead by. You know example to follow by. But if you grew up where you don't nor ever had any good examples, like you ain't have, your grandmother to explain and show you what a good relationship. Because a lot of our great grandparents, they stuck it out with each other, even tough and hard times. So rather it's the mother, the grandmother, the grandfather, the father. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got a good example to follow and you've never seen it, you don't know. It's like the saying you heard many times before: kids are raising kids.
Mm-hmm.
You got so many bad examples that people are raised up in dysfunctional homes and they've never seen a loving family. What hard work it has to put into that loving family. You don't necessarily even agree with each other, but you do come to a common goal of understanding and communicate with each other for a better goal. It's like I remember one time I was listening to two guys rap, and the one guy, he said, you may have won. He put it in a nice rap. I forgot how he put it, but I just remember the words. He said, you might have won the battle, but I'm gonna win the war. And I say, wow. And that's how relationships is. You gotta get over that little battle, because that little battle that y'all bickering about, that's small. The war is way bigger. And when I say war, figuratively speaking, your overall family, your children, your future. That's the war. You want the bigger thing. The little battle, y'all got to get past those little things that bothers you and bother him. Get past that.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We just started talking about this topic because I just brought to my dad's attention that it just feels like nowadays, at least in my era, it feels like women and men hate each other, and I just feel like it's distracting from
Yes.
like a bigger goal and a bigger purpose. And I know like some of the top 3 reasons from hate is fear, insecurity, and mistrust.
Okay.
So I just feel like, you hate somebody. You could hate somebody because you fear them,
Yeah.
right? Or because you're just insecure about your own self,
Yes.
right? Which a lot of people can be, and
That's
be envious
very
of
true.
the next person. And then mistrust,
Oh,
right?
definitely.
Not trusting somebody.
Or you trust somebody and then they do something to lose your trust.
Exactly.
Now it's hard
and
to
now
get
you're
that
trying
back.
to take it out on the whole world and everybody else
Now,
coming
I like
after.
that you said that, because you got people in relationships where they may have had a bad previous relationship. And if they had a bad previous relationship, it's unfortunate they bring that bad baggage to their new relationship. And they haven't got healed yet.
Yeah.
So now you are bringing all that bad vibes to your new one, and your man or your woman is wondering, like, wait a minute, whatever your last man did to you, whatever your last woman did to you, that's not me. You keep treating me the way somebody else did you. I didn't give me a chance to show you love and compassion, opposed to giving me old baggage. You making me have to suffer for what somebody else did to you. I'm not that person.
Right. And we definitely need to start off by treating each other better in general. Everybody needs to treat each other better, I feel like. But I also feel like that partly stems from your family, like
Yeah.
when you go through bitter things and stuff, you don't know where the love is or even how to properly love someone.
Yeah.
And it's like people just keep having kids and you don't know how to properly raise your kids, and you're letting them out into the world when they're the future. So Whatever you
Yeah.
implement in them, that's what they're going to implement in the world. So if you don't implement love and togetherness and unity, they're not gonna follow through with that.
Yeah. Now, what? I'm gonna give you a story. This is a personal story with somebody. No need to mention names, but it was a elderly guy. I used to cut his hair way back in the days, and they say a lot of us barbers, we love to talk, right? And it's almost like a therapy for the guy who's in the chair, to get some stuff off his chest. But I remember this elderly guy. He was telling me about himself, and he started telling me about how good of a wife he is. Now remember what we said, the older generation, they stuck it out. He was telling me how good of a wife he got.
Oh.
And how, man, he said, man, I got a good wife, man. I got to do right by her the rest of my life, man. I got a good wife. And I was proud to hear everything he had to say about her. But then he told me about himself, how he wasn't always faithful, and how he didn't always totally do right by his good wife, and how he regretted. And he said, man, stuff that I've done in the past, he said, boy, I know I got a good wife, because when I did things wrong, instead of her going down my throat, cussing me out, kick me out, whatever, she did even better by me, and it made me feel like a fool. And I was like, yeah, what you mean? And he gave me an exact story. He said, for example, I got kids by other women. Did you know that? And I said, yeah, I know your sons, this and that, right? He said, man, when they was kids, now I'm living with my wife and my kids. He said, one day I came home from work, and one of my kids from another woman that I didn't think my wife knew about, that other kid of mine was in my house with my wife at the kitchen table eating dinner, and my wife treated him like he was gold. He said, man, my wife knew all along, and my goofy butt think I'm getting over on my wife. He said, man, I felt like a damn fool. She treated this kid like it was her own kid. See, that's the old generation. And he said, then, after she showed him all the love and caringness, he spent time with his brothers and sisters. When I took him home, when I came back, she didn't even go down my throat. I had to do the explaining. She just let me talk. He said, man, that right there knew I need to cut it out. This woman, instead of like some women that haven't been taught. See, his wife obviously was taught or seen perfect examples to her mother and father. She's like, it ain't the kid's fault. Why would I treat the kid bad? She said, no, you're the one that we need to communicate. And you used to knock it off. But she didn't, none of that bickering. Because she knew it was crucial to the boy to see a fulfilling family, a loving family. And as always, I love to give you a word of the day. That could be the word of the day, crucial. You look up the word crucial, what do it mean? Decisive or critical when dealing with some type of success or failure. In this case, it's getting too hot.
Low battery.
So what? You could have kept going.
Okay.
It is still going.
Good.
You stopped it?
No.
Oh, go ahead. So I thought the battery went dead. Yeah, we finished up. So the point is, he told me that great story of how his wife stood by his side and treated the kid with respect. And I later, unfortunately, not to get too personal, but unfortunately, that great man, he passed away sometime later. And I remember I took that same story that he told me about his great wife. It was many years later, we had a function together, and I took time to tell her a great story that her husband told me about how great she was. Mm-hmm. And it put such a huge smile on her face that, wow, you and my husband talk a lot like that. She didn't have to brag about herself. He did it for her. And I was proud of that story myself. But see, those are perfect examples. There's no reason to break up a family. You know what I'm saying? You work it out, and don't ever blame it on the kids. And don't ever use the kids as a pawn to get at that man, to get at that woman. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever use the kids to separate.
Right.
Well, it's like what you guys said. Communication is very important. It's
Yes.
the number one key of a relationship.
Yes.
Whether you're married or not, living with one another. But the communication is important if you get to really hear you out, hear each other out.
That's a great solution. Communication. You're
Hear
absolutely
each
right.
out. But if y'all communicate in a sense like, well, I don't like what you're doing, this and that, and y'all don't seem to be in the same level,
Yeah.
then obviously the communication is very unworth it.
Yeah.
You have to understand each other. You have to really come into a conclusion
Yes.
about how y'all feel each other and respect each
Yeah.
other of how y'all feel and look at each
Now
other.
watch this. What would you say the number one cause of divorce?
Finance.
There it is. It's finance. But remember, just because, like they say, when you get married, they say for richer or poorer. Look, you can't just be with somebody just because they got money or because they're rich. And when they go through bad times, you ready to get up out of there. That's not good. That's a person that you want to be the honest answer to this? That's a person that really didn't have your back. And the real person you want to hook up with is someone that got your back with those words meaning solidness behind it. You know, someone that through thick and thin, you're not just here for the good times. Even the bad times, you help me get back on my feet.
Yes. Essentially, men and women need to be kinder to each other. I hate the narrative of up north people are rude and aggressive, and down south people are nice, but
That's
it's true.
not always true.
It's true.
You think so?
It's true.
I've seen some rude people in the South.
It's true. Well, I'm talking like
I get what you
majority.
said.
Majority. It's true.
Uh-huh.
Because I can be in Jersey and no one will hold the door for me, and I'm in the South and people will go out of their way to.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if I don't even witness that in Jersey, I'm gonna just think that's how it is, and it doesn't cost you anything to hold the door.
No.
It doesn't matter if you're a woman too. You can hold the door for someone. It's free.
You know what? I would agree with that. People are more hospitable when you go
Yeah.
southern or out of the country. How about all the times you've been out of the
Yeah.
country? You see how polite people are. You go, man, this is nice. What am I doing living back in the daggone
Yeah.
jungle?
And we all have to live in this world together. We don't have a choice, so you might as well make the best of it and come together.
Did you see that video Taraji P. Henson just recently did not too long ago? Because she went over to Africa. She said when she was over there in Africa for about a month, she said, man, it was so peaceful. No violence. Nobody with all the nonsense. People walking around showing you so much love and attention. And it had nothing to do with her being a celebrity, because they wasn't approaching her like that. She said it was just peaceful. She said it was, at the end of my trip, when I knew I had to come back to the States, she said I felt depressed. And they was like, why? She said, because I'm coming back to the States where the foods are GMO, where people are rude, where there's so much racial tension, where crooked cops, all this nonsense I
Right.
gotta come back to.
I'm happy you brought that up too, because also her experience in Africa, right? The media won't make you think you'll get that in Africa at all.
Yep, they lie to us all the time.
So the media is also a big part of the reason why I feel like we hate each other as well. Every time I got a comment or a
I
thought,
love
I'm gonna go online and go post it. And now the next person reading, probably having a good day, is like, dang, this how people feel about me? Or this how
I'll use
that's terrible.
I'll use that as an example. Also going back to relationships.
Yep.
When you have somebody next to you in your ear as a negative person,
Put
constantly
negative thoughts
pushing
in,
you,
yeah.
you're never going to be successful in
Yeah.
a relationship.
Yep.
Whether you are married or you are with someone, as long as you got negative people around you, they will try to destroy what you are building,
Yeah.
what you are trying to do. Because when two people are trying to fix each other and trying to work with each other, then it's got to be just them, just
Okay.
them two.
Just to
Without the
bring,
negative entity.
right, just to bring in a little anatomy, science here. all your negative thoughts are in the left prefrontal cortex of your brain, which means this side of your brain. And these are all the positive on the right side. So
Okay.
sometimes when I think negative, I like to fight my mind. I like to tell myself the left is working. The left is
Yeah.
working too much. Help your right.
Yeah. And I like the other thing she said about the media, because remember, the media, who controls the media? Those are real evil people. And they always tell us all this evil stuff. Speaking back on Africa, I remember when I was a kid, they told us, oh, when you go to Africa, you got to get like 10, 20 shots. Oh, it's so much violence over there. It's all this. If it's so much violence over there, why so many people from why so many white people over here? Why so many Asian people over here? Why so many other ethnic people over here? It's so violent.
Right.
You know, but then they tell people, oh, when you come to America, you got to watch out for these type of people. Black people no good. But we never dropped a bomb on nobody. We never did all this evil stuff. But they never say, oh, they say stay away from the black person. But you don't hear them say stay away from the white person. That's ain't a racial video at all. But you see how the media always put negative crap out there, and you got to go see it for yourself. Otherwise, you'll get caught up in what exactly the media is trying to do. Create a wedge and a divide from you to go back home to Africa, for you to love and communicate with your loved one. Always a divide. It is crazy how the media, even with rappers, They only promote rappers who are talking about shooting, killing, cheating on their woman, drugs, violence. But if a rapper come out with some positive raps, oh no, we're not gonna promote that. They only want to create divides, so don't fall for the nonsense.
That's crazy you say that, because I personally know a rapper that I've been like following recently. He's new. His name's Rob49. And he actually said that in an interview. He said that he was trying to come out with music a certain way, more like about his feelings, and that kind of rap.
Yeah.
But still hard, but like that kind of rap. And they said they don't want that. They're not putting that out. They were like, no, you need to do more drill. That's what they call it now.
Booty
More,
popping, drugs, violence, guns.
And that's what he's making
all
now.
the nonsense. Who controls the media? That's where the real problem is. They're the puppet masters and controlling everybody. We want to keep y'all divided. We want to keep y'all at each other's throats.
And can you imagine just hearing that in your ear all day? Say I'm just a victim and I just like rap music.
Yeah.
I'm listening to that all day. That's already changing my way of thinking.
You're going to act on it in some kind of way.
Yeah, of
and
course.
now back to the title of the video, what?
Division
of man and woman. See, when you manipulated by the crooked media, when you manipulated by your negative friends, when you manipulated by, honestly, never seeing nothing positive, you're going to be easily influenced not to try to work it out. You need to be around more positive people. You need to be around more positive family members. Find that family member in your whole family that, wow, they've been married for 40 years. That's who you need to contact. That's who you need to talk to. Because they're going to make you understand, no, you got to work it out. You think the grass is greener on the other side? Guess what's going to happen? You're going to go to the other side, and then same problem's going to happen. Then you're going to be right back. It's like the old movie, one of my old good movies, Sugar Hill. Remember Sugar Hill? She was with Wesley Snipes, and then she was like, I don't like that you're dealing drugs. He said, but I treat you like a queen. And she left him, right? And he begged her, like, look, let's just work it out. I'm going to leave this life. She left him, didn't give him a chance, right? And she went with that other guy. And when she got with the other guy, when they was alone, he beat the mess out of her and called her a skeezer. And then he started pulling down his pants. He said, now I'm going to let you suck my... I ain't want to say what he said. But see, that's when she punched him and this and that. But she realized, and she went crying and bruised back to Wesley. You see, my point with bringing that up is, you thought the grass was greener on the other side of the fence. Because a lot of y'all do that. Instead of working it out with your partner, you think the grass is greener somewhere else. And when you go somewhere else, you find out it was just the same as here, if not worse. It's better to work out what you got. I kind of know your likes and your dislikes. You know, I don't particularly like that you do this or do that, but let's work on it. And guess what? We're going to communicate and love each other even more when we work through it. Remember, you got to get past the battle, because the war is way bigger than the battle.
Yes. So, in closing, we would just like to say that we believe everybody should be more kind to each other. And
You
come
said
together.
the other one. Stop bashing each other.
Yes, stop bashing each other and start advising each other. If you feel like, as a man, if you feel like women are doing something a certain way, try to advise them. Vice
Instead
versa
of
with
bashing
women.
them.
If you feel like men aren't doing something, bashing is not going to help. It is going to create more anger and hate and a retaliation rather than a solution. So just for everybody, like, let's help build each other up. Like,
I like that. And in closing, I would piggyback off. She said, yes, let's build each other up and stop getting caught up in all the negative crap out here. We know how society loves negative. Negative videos get the most views and all kind of other nonsense. No, get rid of that. And let's build each other up by communicating more. Let's learn more about your likes, your dislikes. What could I do to help your likes? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I do to put a smile on your face? Every time you see me, I want a big smile to be on your face. I don't want you angry. Let's build each other up. Peace.